The officer thought he was looking at a coat. It was hanging just inside the front door, dark, dripping. When he stepped closer, he realized it wasn't a coat at all. It was skin. Human skin, peeled from head to toe in one piece and hung like something you'd see in a butcher shop. He radioed for backup. His voice cracked. In the living room, they found the body. No head, no skin, positioned on the floor in a grotesque pose, legs crossed, one arm clutching a large soda bottle like some kind of sick joke. The kitchen was worse. On the stove sat a massive pot. Inside, a human head bobbed among potatoes, pumpkin, and zucchini. The vegetables were fully cooked. So was the head. 2 plates sat on the dining table. Each one held a thick cut of meat, roasted, seasoned, plated with sides and gravy like a holiday dinner. Next to each plate was a small card. Handwritten names. The victim's son, the victim's daughter. She'd cooked their father, and she'd been planning to feed him to them. The officer who found her said she was asleep in the bedroom, unconscious from pills, peaceful, almost like she'd finished a long day's work and decided to rest. This happened in the year 2000. In a small Australian town called Scone. The victim's name was John Price. He was 44 years old. The woman who killed him was Catherine Knight, and this wasn't the first time she'd tried to murder someone she loved. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me tell you about Catherine Knight. She was born in 1955 in a town called Aberdeen, New South Wales. Small place, rural, the kind of town where everyone knows everyone, and secrets don't stay buried for long. Catherine's childhood was hell. Her father was an alcoholic who beat her mother regularly. When he was drunk, he'd force himself on his wife while the kids were in the next room. Catherine's mother would spend the mornings telling her daughters how disgusting men were, how sex was vile and degrading. But that wasn't the worst part. Catherine and her twin sister were sexually abused by multiple family members, older stepbrothers, relatives. It went on for years. Their mother knew. She did nothing. She told them to keep quiet, to endure it. The only person who showed Catherine any kindness was her uncle Oscar. He was a well-known horse trainer in the area. He treated her with respect, made her feel safe. In 1969, when Catherine was 14, Oscar killed himself. She never really recovered. After that, Catherine became 2 different people. At school, she'd fly into rages over nothing. She once tried to stab a classmate in the eye with a pencil. Another time, she attacked a teacher and sent him to the hospital. Kids were terrified of her, but she also won awards for good behavior. She could be polite, charming, even. She'd switch between the two like flipping a light. At 15, she dropped out and got a job at a clothing factory. It was fine, boring. A year later, she found her dream job. She became a slaughterhouse worker. Catherine loved it. She worked in the offal department at first, handling intestines and organs, but her knife skills were exceptional. Within months, she was promoted to boning, cutting meat from carcasses. She was fast, clean, efficient. She got her own set of knives. She slept with them next to her bed. Co-workers said she'd joke about it. If anyone pissed her off, she'd smile and say she'd carve them up, fillet them like a side of beef. People laughed nervously. Nobody took it seriously. At 18, she started dating a guy from the slaughterhouse named David Kellett. He'd been a railroad worker before, but he'd witnessed some gruesome accidents on the job. A colleague crushed by a train, a little girl who jumped in front of a locomotive. The trauma left him with severe anxiety and alcoholism. He drank constantly, got into fights. Catherine would step in and defend him. She was scrappy, aggressive. He liked that about her. They got married in 1974. On their wedding day, Kellett showed up drunk. He rode his motorcycle to the ceremony with Catherine on the back, both of them half-plastered. At the reception, Catherine's mother pulled him aside. She looked him dead in the eye and said, "If you ever cheat on her, you're dead. If you do anything to hurt her, she'll kill you. You need to understand that." Kellett laughed it off. He thought she was joking. She wasn't. That night, after the wedding, Kellett passed out drunk before they had sex. Catherine was furious. She woke him up by strangling him. He barely fought her off. He should have left right then, but he didn't. Over the next few years, Catherine's violence escalated. Once, Kellett came home late from a darts tournament. Catherine was waiting for him in the yard. She'd burned all his clothes in a pile. When he walked up, she swung a cast iron skillet at his head. It fractured his skull. He stumbled to a neighbor's house, bleeding everywhere. The cops came. Catherine turned on the charm, apologized, cried, said it was an accident. Kellett refused to press charges. In 1976, they had a daughter, Melissa. 2 months after the birth, Kellett couldn't take it anymore. He ran off with another woman to Queensland. Catherine snapped. She wandered the streets, pushing the baby in a stroller. Then, in front of several witnesses, she started shaking the stroller violently, threw it, screamed. She was hospitalized, diagnosed with postpartum psychosis, released after a few weeks. A few days later, she left 2-month-old Melissa on the train tracks, alone, crying. A homeless man found the baby minutes before a train came through. He scooped her up and ran. Catherine, meanwhile, was downtown. She had an axe. She was threatening random people on the street. The cops arrested her. She was admitted to a psychiatric hospital. They released her the next day. Right after getting out, Catherine grabbed a woman off the street at knife point, held a blade to her face and told her to drive to Queensland. She was going after Kellett. The woman obeyed, terrified. They stopped for gas halfway there. Catherine got distracted. The woman ran inside and called the cops. When police arrived, Catherine was holding a teenage boy hostage. She told the officers exactly what she planned to do. She was going to kill the mechanic who fixed Kellett's car. Then she'd kill Kellett. Then his mother. Everyone who helped him leave. They locked her up in a psychiatric facility. This time, they kept her a little longer. But here's the unbelievable part. Kellett came back. He showed up at the hospital with his mother and begged Catherine to come home. He apologized, said he forgave her. She was released into his care in August 1976. They tried again, moved to a different town. Catherine got another slaughterhouse job. In 1980, they had a second daughter, Natasha. 4 years later, Catherine left him, not the other way around. She packed up the girls and moved back to Aberdeen, got her own place, went back to work. She injured her back at the slaughterhouse and went on disability. The workers' comp paid enough for her to live comfortably. She didn't need a man's money, but she wanted company. Her second partner was a guy named David Saunders. He was a minor, 38, 7 years older than Catherine. They moved in together in 1986. At first, things seemed fine. A few months in, the jealousy started. Catherine accused him of cheating. She wasn't wrong, necessarily, but her reaction was extreme. In 1987, Saunders came home to find his 2-month-old puppy dead on the floor, throat slit. Catherine was holding the knife. She looked at him and said, "I can kill your dog this easily. You think I can't do the same to you?" Saunders stayed. They had a daughter together in 1988. Sarah. Catherine decorated their house with animal skins, bones, dried hides, and rusted hooks. The place looked like a horror movie set. Saunders hated it but didn't say anything. One night, during an argument, Catherine grabbed a hot iron and smashed it into his face. Then she picked up scissors and stabbed him in the stomach. He ran. This time, he didn't come back. Months later, he tried to visit his daughter. Catherine had already filed a false police report claiming he'd attacked her. There was a restraining order. He couldn't get near the house. He gave up, left town, never saw Sarah again. Catherine's third relationship was quieter. A guy named John Chillingworth. They had a son together in 1992. Eric. The relationship lasted about 3 years. It ended when Catherine started seeing someone else. That someone was John Price. Price was born the same year as Catherine. He was a coal miner, hard-working, well-liked. He had 3 kids from a previous relationship. 2 of them lived with him. He'd heard the rumors about Catherine. Everyone in town had, but his kids liked her. She was nice to them, cooked for them, played the role of a caring partner. They moved in together in 1995. For a while, it worked. Price made good money. Catherine kept the house in order. She could be sweet when she wanted to be, but by 1998, cracks started showing. Catherine wanted to get married, have a big wedding. Price refused. He said it cost too much. They were already living together. What was the point? Catherine didn't take it well. Price had been working at the same mine for 17 years. Good record. Respected. Catherine knew he sometimes took small things from work. A first aid kit. Some tape. Minor stuff. She recorded video evidence of it and sent it to his employer. Price was fired immediately. 17 years of work gone. His reputation destroyed, all because of her. He kicked her out. The whole town heard about it. People felt sorry for Price. Told him he was better off, that he'd dodged a bullet. A few months later, they got back together. Nobody understood why. Friends tried to talk him out of it. He wouldn't listen. He seemed trapped. Some kind of twisted bond had formed between them. They didn't live together this time. Kept separate houses, but the violence continued. During one fight, Catherine stabbed him in the chest with a knife. Not deep enough to kill him, but deep enough to send a message. Price finally hit his limit. On February 28, 2000, he went to court and filed for a restraining order. He wanted Catherine banned from coming near him or his children. That same day, he told his co-workers something chilling. "If I don't come to work tomorrow, Catherine killed me." They begged him not to go home, to stay somewhere else. He thought about it, dropped his kids off at a friend's house, spent the evening at a neighbor's place, but around 11 that night, he went back to his own house. He went to bed. Catherine had a key. That day, February 29, 2000, Catherine went shopping. She bought black lingerie, went home and spent the afternoon filming her children on a video camera. Told them she loved them. It felt like a goodbye. That evening, she let herself into Price's house. He was already asleep. She didn't wake him right away. She sat in the living room with the TV on, just sat there, for a long time. Then she showered, put on the new lingerie, went into his bedroom. She woke him up. They had sex. Afterward, Price fell back asleep, exhausted. Unaware, Catherine went to the closet. She'd hidden a knife there earlier. At some point in the early hours of March 1st, she started stabbing him 37 times. The wounds were deep, precise. She aimed for his chest, his lungs, his heart. He woke up screaming, tried to fight back, tried to run. There were bloody handprints on the walls, on the light switches. He made it all the way to the front door, but he'd lost too much blood. He collapsed in the hallway, bled out on the floor. Catherine dragged his body back to the bedroom. Then she got to work. She skinned him, head to toe, one continuous piece. It took skill, the kind of skill you only get from years of experience in a slaughterhouse. The skin stayed intact, whole. She hung it on a hook near the door. Then she cut off his head, hung the rest of his body from a meat hook in the doorway. Like a deer carcass, she butchered him methodically, removed sections of flesh from his buttocks and thighs, the meatiest parts. In the kitchen, she grabbed a large pot, filled it with water, added vegetables, potatoes, zucchini, pumpkin, carrots, cabbage. She placed Price's head in the pot, turned on the stove, let it simmer. While that cooked, she pan-fried several cuts of his flesh, seasoned them, plated them with vegetables and gravy. She set the table, 2 plates, each one arranged carefully, meat, sides, sauce. Next to each plate, she placed a handwritten note card. One had Price's son's name, the other had his daughter's name. She was going to serve them their father. There was a third plate in the backyard. Investigators found it later, half-eaten food scattered around it. It appeared she'd tried to eat some herself, couldn't finish. After everything was plated, Catherine went looking for photos of Price. She found one, scrawled a message on it in thick marker. The note was rambling, incoherent in places, but the gist was clear. She claimed Price had sexually abused her daughter, that this was revenge. Justice. The accusation was investigated later. Completely false. There was no evidence. Nothing. She made it up. She wrote other things too. Insults aimed at Price's ex-wife. Cruel, vulgar things about his son. Then she swallowed a handful of sleeping pills, went to his bed, pulled the covers over herself, and went to sleep. The next morning, Price didn't show up for work. His co-worker remembered the warning, "If I don't come to work tomorrow, Catherine killed me." He drove to Price's house, knocked on the window. No answer. He looked toward the front door, saw something dark smeared on the glass. He called the police. Officers arrived just after 8 a.m. They knocked. No response. They broke through the back door. The smell hit them first. Then they saw the skin hanging by the entrance, the headless body in the doorway, the pot on the stove, the plates on the table. One officer said later he'd worked homicides for over 20 years. He'd never seen anything like it. The butchering was professional, clean, methodical. It wasn't rage. It was precision. They found Catherine unconscious in the bedroom. She'd taken pills, but not enough to kill herself, just enough to sleep through the aftermath. She was arrested, taken to the hospital. When she woke up, they charged her with murder. In interrogation, she claimed she didn't remember anything, said she blacked out, had no idea what happened, but the evidence said otherwise. She'd bought the lingerie earlier that day, filmed her kids like she was saying goodbye, hidden the knife in advance. Experts testified that these were signs of premeditation. She knew what she was going to do. During the trial, Catherine tried to plead not guilty by reason of insanity. Her lawyers argued she'd had a psychotic break. The prosecution argued differently. They said the skinning, the cooking, the plating, the name cards, it was all deliberate, calculated. She didn't just kill him, she humiliated him, degraded him. Even in death, That's not insanity, that's revenge. Later, Catherine gave a statement that revealed her real motive. He was going to throw me away, leave me with nothing. I tried to make it work, but he kept pushing me away. I thought if I can't have him, no one will. In October 2001, Catherine Knight was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. She was the first woman in Australian history to receive that sentence. John Price's co-worker was the one who found him, the man who heard the warning and took it seriously. He's the reason police got there when they did. Price's children were spared. They never made it home that day. If they had, there's no telling what would have happened. Catherine's own children were interviewed after the arrest. They said they'd been afraid of her their whole lives, that she'd threatened them, hurt them, but they never thought she'd go this far. During the trial, psychiatrists evaluated Catherine extensively. They diagnosed her with borderline personality disorder. Some suggested antisocial traits. Others pointed to her childhood trauma as the root cause, but none of that explained the cooking, the plating, the name cards. That was something else entirely. Catherine tried to appeal her sentence in 2006. She argued that life without parole was too harsh, that she deserved a chance at release. The court denied it. The judge said the crime was too depraved, too calculated. She would never be let out. Today, Catherine Knight is still in prison. She's in her late 60s now, locked up at Silverwater Correctional Complex in New South Wales. And here's the strangest part. She's a model inmate. Guards describe her as calm, cooperative, even friendly. Other prisoners look up to her. They call her grandma. She mediates disputes, helps younger inmates adjust. Prison officials say she is one of the best behaved long-term prisoners they have. It's hard to reconcile that with what she did. The woman who skinned her partner and cooked him for his children is now seen as a stabilizing presence behind bars. Some psychologists say it makes sense. Catherine's violence was always tied to intimate relationships, to rejection, to the fear of abandonment. In prison, there's no intimacy, no relationships to lose, no one to control. She has structure, routine. No one can leave her. Maybe that's all she ever wanted. John Price's family still lives in the area. They've never spoken publicly about the case. His children grew up without a father. They'll carry that for the rest of their lives. The house where it happened was sold years ago. The new owners didn't know the history at first. When they found out, they considered moving, but they stayed. They say the place feels normal now, quiet, but every so often, late at night, they'll walk past the front door and remember what hung there. And they'll wonder how something so evil could have been hiding in plain sight for so long.